Okay. It costs 3 SP. Okay, I'm fine with this. Let's finish preparations. Let's just go in. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
There, I moved the chat to a better place for the class trials.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
Like it? I don't know.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Yeah.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyouko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Of course!
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyouko, right?
Yasuhiro has never been right in his life about anything. Well, he is correct 30% of the time, or what was it again? Like 20-something? Anyway. He said something right once, I think. Also, hi, Resist Channel Dictatorship. How you doing? It was 30%. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait.
Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyouko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her.
I got it!
Piercing glare.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way this corpse was Kyouko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to. Okay. Tattoo on the right. It could be either the tattoo or the fake nails.
That Kyouko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyouko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Yeah, it is.
That
Kyouko, there's... Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
Here to
No,
hit that 30.
There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Yeah, that would be pretty not great.
Besides, Kyouko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Shut your mouth.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyouko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
No, he didn't.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyouko.
Women have logic too. Come on.
Which should
A
have
logic
been
that can be
obvious since she's
comprehended by
standing
anyone.
right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
So he's half as accurate as a stop clock? Basically.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, we have to identify the victim. Oh my god. Tattoo on the right hand, that should be the one this time.
If Kyouko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition.
No, 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 no.
And there
Oh, it kept
wasn't
doing
any
it.
description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body,
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Whoops.
If Kyouko really is, then who died?
there's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face
Wait,
was
god
scorched
damn it, I
beyond
pressed the
recognition.
wrong... Wait, that should be right. That tattoo is something you can recognize a person by. Yes, I think it's wrong.
Shoot!
There's a contradiction!
If Kyouko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Oh wait,
Oh, if we can't identify the body,
I
Then there's
see.
nothing else
I
we
was...
can do, right?
I had something wrong in my mind.
Kyouko really? Then who died?
there's gotta be I don't think so. And there wasn't any description in the... Well, if we can't identify the...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real?
Yeah, the face scorch, and that's something else. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got it.
If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Hero, where were you the last few class trials?
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Not anymore.
Oh, really?
The executions. No? If you compare the tattoo to the other information, yeah. There we go.
I got it!
I got it!
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The tattoo of a dog's face. Come on. Oh, wolf. Darn. What the fuck?
Now I understand.
Now I understand. I just had to play some
The representation
Hangman.
of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology.
Shut up.
Huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Yeah.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
All other characters are dead. He has to fill the void with random comments.
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyouko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyouko got it wrong?
Then, who was
Kyouko got it wrong.
Who was Mukuro
Kyouko got it
Ikusaba?
wrong.
She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Yeah, I don't think Kyouko is wrong. And I don't think she's dumb either. That would be really weird. She gets things 99% correct. So dumb.
Then who's the real mastermind?
At least, what an idiot.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
I don't know.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
I was not wrong. Yes, you were. I wasn't. Yes, you were. You were wrong. And then it goes back and forth, bickering for a while. .99% germs kill. The last 0.01% can give you disease, but we can't kill it. I mean, it's a tiny risk, I guess. That's the thing with problems. We often can't solve them 100%. If that's your reason, if that's your logic behind making people an idiot, then I know it's a joke. Just thinking out loud, you know? If that were your reasoning for calling, like, behind calling people an idiot, then there would be no No smart people.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this.
Oh, the joke didn't get taken too far. I was just taking that reasoning a little further.
No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are.
Like what?
I stake my family name on it.
Great. Good job, Yuck, yeah. Like, just what if that was actually someone's reasoning for calling someone an idiot?
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Stop it! Hero!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
I really need to take a drink, so I'll be right back. Real quick. Just a minute. Suspense is killing me. Flint, why did you choke? Didn't choke. Missed lethal. I am back. I am so looking forward to Danganronpa V3, which is coming out in 5 days. Which honestly isn't a very great release date. It's gonna be released on a Monday. Fresh story, heck yeah. And it's gonna be nice and HD and awesome. Cause look at these. Look at these curtains. They're super pixelated. I mean, the graphics, the art style and everything looks nice, but I don't have a pre-order, no. I don't pre-order much. I've only pre-ordered one game ever, and that was Splatoon 2 when I was in Australia. We literally went to the store there, got arms, and then like we knew we were gonna get Splatoon 2 there, and the guy was like, "Do you want to pre-order it?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure." And I got like a little Little keychain thingy and a magnet. Yay! If you pre-order, it pre-installs and runs immediately on release. That's nice, I guess. You pre-ordered the Splatoon 2 Switch bundle and canceled it? What? Why? Get a hold of yourself. We're already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
Because the Switch and Splatoon weren't pre-installed. Good one. Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be 2 suspects.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyouko and me, right?
So you can get the gray Switch with Zelda and Season Pass, a Switch case, and screen protector for 20 euros more. It was a bundle ready from the store, I see. Okay, so that was a better deal than just with Splatoon. It was Flynn after all. He's trying to trick us. I gotta say, the Switch is an awesome little thing. I really like it. I mean, it's not as technically powerful as like the other current consoles and PC gaming, but you can get some awesome games on there, and you can bring them everywhere and play them like a handheld. Do 3D glasses work on that Switch? No, they don't. There is talk about a potential VR thing, where you can like put the Switch screen in the headset. I got Splatoon later when your grandma was like, "You went shopping? I forgot to give you your birthday money. Take this, 100 euros." They got Splatoon and Fire Emblem Echoes. Nice. Oh, the color scheme of the Joy-Cons, yeah. You can have gray ones if you don't want the colors. I like the colored ones.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden.
What if you were lying? If you are lying, this entire case falls apart.
However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were
Oh wait,
in the
Hero
gym
was
the
also
entire
there.
time.
Shit. You like the Neo Joy-Cons, we really don't care. Yeah, in the end, it's the games and the stuff. You got the Splatoon Pro Controller. That's a nice Pro Controller. I kind of want that.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
I hit the gym to get buff.
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
So the only suspect now are me and Kyouko. Damn it! I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Yes. Sleep murder. Yeah.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Yeah!
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
There's really no better place for the chat. There's actually like really no good place for the chat. I could put it over my face, but
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
the murder happened between 7 p.m. and 9 a.m. And I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Poor Sayaka. Leon, Celeste.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't
Shit.
have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's not a contradiction. I was like, yep, it's gotta be it. Sorry. I disappointed you guys.
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep.
And Makoto doesn't have an alibi.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think.
Okay,
So
explode
Makoto,
body
if you
analysis I
have
should
any
give.
objections, now would be the time.
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep.
And Makoto doesn't...
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
What? But those two make sense. I mean, it's not a direct contradiction, but
We've established a time frame for the murder.
you know,
It
the
took
body
place
was only.
somewhere between
Whoops.
10 o'clock at night
What? I
and
aimed
9
at the.
o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
What am I
Yeah,
doing?
from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Fragments
That's
near the
more
dead
than enough
body.
time to commit murder, I
That's the bomb. We don't care about that.
So Makoto, if
The
you
sprinklers
have any objections,
started.
now would be.
Let's just look at the information. The upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half was remaining dry. Oh! Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's a part of the bomb. So that also contradicts that. It happened when we were away from Monokuma.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's just not the thing I have to contradict.
Shoot!
Oh. Because the beginning time is wrong. Wait.
We've established a time frame
Yeah, for the murder.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Just gonna keep on doing. Just gonna keep doing it. Just gonna.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
No, that's wrong.
I was just being stupid. Sorry, guys.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden
Still
before
alive.
7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
Toko, stop!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Toko, no!
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. What was this?
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
Shit.
Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Exactly.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyouko.
No. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyouko murdered someone? That's...
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyouko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyouko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
I think... Monokuma wasn't really reassembled, just replaced. Because even after Monokuma popped up again, we could still go back to the gym at which we went, and we could see the completely disassembled Monokuma there.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Hey, what? Kyouko!
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could
The
have
tarp, of
avoided
course.
getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
That one.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyouko say that? Why would she want to make me look like a killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyouko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyouko said.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that
No blood found on the ground around the body. I'm fairly sure I didn't murder anyone.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Whoops. Should have slowed that down.
By covering the body, killer prevents.
So the reason that because the spring, but the underside, it was totally. It's because that side.
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
Blood! No, it's
Actually,
a watertight tarp.
One side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Yeah.
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got blood from right there in the car. Oh. Poor chicken.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I wonder
in that
if the
sense,
killer
but-
had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking
You know, I'd
around.
recommend not killing someone. No, that murder was ruthless. Okay, killing someone, I get it, but a chicken? Unacceptable.
Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went
You're
missing,
right.
which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
Killing a chicken would be way too cruel for me to do. That's correct.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene.
love
Maybe they
birds too
covered the
much.
coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
sorry. I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
How old is this game? This game came out in 2010, yes. So that's 7 years old at this point. It was for the PSP.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood.
It was a cult hit, and now it's more popular than ever. And now all the games are on PC too, and people are enjoying them so much. And yeah, what do you mean with Vol 1?
This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
It's called Vol 2? No, it's not. You played when it was a fan translation. Cool.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyouko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Vol 2, we're not saying that, though. I did say Danganronpa V3 is coming out soon. I never said this is Volume 2. No. This is the first game, and there's the second one, Danganronpa 2, and then there's Danganronpa V3 is coming out soon. This guy's dead body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, so what exactly? Truth bullets. I went past it. The murder took place before the sprinklers turned on. The suspect covered the body with a tarp to prevent it from getting wet. Later, they removed the tarp. The suspect placed the white jacket on the body. This jacket had previously been treated with blood to make it look like the corpse had been wearing it. There's also another episode, but it's a third-person adventure game. Yeah, the Ultra Despair Girls, yeah.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyouko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
No!
Oh!
No! No! No, 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 no! No!
See? Pretty good idea,
No!
right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Yeah, it was ours.
According
It was
to the
in our room.
Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Yeah, but if it's wrong, it doesn't matter.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now we have this knife, what are we gonna do with it? And we gave it to me.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened that night. I didn't kill an adorable chicken, I didn't! I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
No, those are 12,000 wrong percents. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay. We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It...
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me...
Yeah. I can't tackle that argument head on.
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
Yeah, there's absolutely not.
You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto. The knife we found lodged in the dead body. It's the same one we gave to Makoto. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
I don't know. Oh, was that it?
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Don't be a dick.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation that I can think of for the explosion.
I got it!
Bring my health back.
Explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyouko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire...
Then shall we continue the victim's
fatal injury has yet to be...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't because of the knife. And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Oh, come on. Does the Monokuma file not mention that was lethal? What?
Then...
But those were at least several days old, those wounds.
The victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't then...
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it.
And more than that, the victim
had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Shoot.
Yikes.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Dang it, whoops.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Shoot.
Okay, I have no idea, and I don't know. I just don't know. You
Then
are
shall
allowed
we
to help
continue
me,
the debate?
Lawrence.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
That isn't
And
correct.
it wasn't because of the knife, right?
Shoot.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
The victim's
Fatal injury.
I can't save right now.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Oh,
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her
entire body.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No, that's wrong.
that was it, I guess.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Did she, though?
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I
Oh,
guess they
only
don't really
the
matter.
countless wounds weren't fresh. Okay.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
That would be sharp.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground.
No.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you...
No. Nope. The real murder weapon? These aren't blunt. I thought these were the ones. Oh?
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her.
Wait a second. Those are a lot of arrows. If you would bind them together, they'll be a very good blunt object. Was I correct?
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. The tape. The tape. There was tape underneath it. Yes.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
It's too small.
No, right!
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as... It seems like an arrow would just be too...
No, that's wrong.
Bloody duct tape.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Duct tape
Inside the
is
dojo
beauty.
locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
Yikes.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyouko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyouko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence Kyouko went to the dojo? It must be connected to the dojo locker.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyouko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Kyouko!
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just
She wasn't able to go into the room.
there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyouko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Hi, Pastel. How you doing?
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyouko, she killed someone? For me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone because he had her key to the... He had the key to her room. She couldn't put the key in her room. She couldn't go back to the... She couldn't open the locker. What does that mean? When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master,
What are you
would
hiding?
never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
What?
Shoot!
I was like, yeah, that's a contradiction.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya.
Master would never.
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated you said I hid and then left the lock, but could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya,
What if Master would never hide something from?
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
I don't know.
Is that what you're saying?
My options are
You
limited.
stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyouko gave her room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
What are you
Master would
hiding?
never hide something from me.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong! If I'm right, Kyouko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
But hold on, no. Kyouko has Monokuma's tool to open any lock.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a contradiction in what Kyouko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyouko said earlier? If you vote for me, and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has led for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyouko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro? And Kyouko killed her? What does Kyouko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? I'm sorry, Lawrence. But I'm afraid you can't have that fun in that. Because I was made aware that there is a bad ending. Which we're going to see. The Mastermind's trap! If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. You know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Pursue the lie.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyouko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko's definitely lying. It must be because there's some other deeper truths she wants to keep hidden.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No, that's wrong. No, Kyouko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyouko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyouko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school, which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing?
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyouko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
That's how he was gonna get revenge.
But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
She really did it? Good job! You got it right! Brilliantly right! We got it, right? Does that mean Kyouko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyouko!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
This time! Is everyone ready? Okay then!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Uh-oh. I'm not gonna look what I'm gonna see. Kyouko, no! What have I done? Oh no! I wanted to see the bad ending that I was told about, but I don't like this anymore. After school lesson. It's getting so close. Ah, that was it. Yeah, it's kind of odd. Wait, detective-y? I mean... technically... I assumed she was like a detective kind of person. But in the story at that point, she didn't know what her ultimate talent was, and neither, like, none of them did. So it makes sense for it to have nothing to do with anything. Who thought it was the ultimate printing press? And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyouko was actually innocent, or regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me, I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace, and in exchange for the lives of all the others. Oh, this is weird. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Oh my god. Oh no. Hope. Oh no. Hope. Hope? This is hope? And also the events of the second game could never have
No!
happened.
This isn't right!
Or put back. Huh?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right. I have to... Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do I do? Let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyouko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be a secret in here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyouko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyouko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial.
Apparently Monokuma's talking. Okay. I did see the first 2 episodes of the first anime, and it was pretty good for a minute. For a minute, that's not what I want to say. In my opinion.
And Kyouko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us.
Well,
So that's why
what was weird
this
is
has to be...
what was weird is that most voice actors didn't carry over. Like Makoto was definitely still the same person, and there were still a couple of others that were like the same voice actor, but most of it got changed.
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
Uh-oh.
What? Time's up?
True, but you gotta fit it in 13 episodes, you know.
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Uh-oh.
Voting time?
Uh-oh, I got a B. I got 2 B's. No, I got 2 B's. Still got an A overall. Good.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully
It wasn't me, I
wrong
swear.
one? Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Now it's like I am the guilty one. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yep, they got it right. No, that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it in the same way.
Thrills, chills, kills!
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively exciting punishment. Wait, why do I? Oh, Kyouko didn't see this coming either. Kyouko!
I don't expect you to forgive me.
I know this.
I know this is all my fault.
Kyouko.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Uh-oh. School lesson? Are we gonna get killed? No, that's not right. Something's not right. Yes, alter ego! Still not great, still not great, still not great, still not great. This is still not great. Uh-huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, what was that? Yeah, it had to be.
This is
alter ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this!
It would seem...
You finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. So are we gonna play as Kyouko now? Is he gone? Hey Kyouko, What's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
so...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. A massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. Like the school stands at the very center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. Why are we redoing the beginning? A government-funded school of privilege. Of privilege. Anyway. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school, and two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you are scouted by the school itself. Sitting there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? There wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? What the hecky? Gah. Ooh. Hey! That's that rocket from the intro sequence. I finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high across the area. Are all the bodies in here? This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in, but that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of there. Well, there's the obvious door with the lock. It's locked. Rattle, 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 rattle. Alter Ego is the AI that we helped out. Hold on. Be right back. Hello. Okay. Thanks. 500 words per second. Words per minute. That would be a little bit insane, yes. Type 500 words in a second. Anyway, no matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Morally stat. I mean stat. I mean fast. Yeah. It's okay. Everybody makes typos. No matter how many times I push it. Okay. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy, I say to myself. Well, I'm not going to get out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. Oh, but that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure with which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? You can type without looking, but you type better when looking. Okay, yeah, I look at my fingers a lot when I type. Nice. That's a good skill. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive! As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up! After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. It was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think that at least a full day had to have passed. There's talking now. I'm more steeds praten. Waarom doe je dat? Whoa, 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 we just dropped a lot of frames there. Right that second. I just walked away for a little moment. Yeah, hi Sakia. How you doing? Zelda Storm Z. When you were 7, you started using a computer for the first time. Cool. I used the computer for the first time when I was 5, usually educational games. Start with Reader Rabbit for toddlers. You know, I was probably like 3. Because, you know, that's the age of a toddler. Can't be sure, but I think at least a full day have passed. Very young as you remember having some program that allowed you to make movies with Lego, even had a camera. Cool, that was great. Oh, cool. Now you're 14. Cool. I'm 21. How old are you? Skyrim is sure weird. You know, right? Dude, for gaming, you start playing a computer since 3 years old, but that doesn't count. Okay. 21, yeah. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Crunch. What the? Strange sounds pierced my sight in the isolation, jarring me awake. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? Carefully touch my hand out toward whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. He 9 plus 10. No, that would be 19. I mean, educational games. Anyone else remember that game where you have to climb up a mountain and solve math problems along the way? That was dope. I do not remember. I did not have that in my childhood. Educational games are bad. You going from Mario Sunshine to what's 1+1 made you want to run away from home. I had Pajama Sam. Bitches. Haha. Those were good. Humongous entertainment educational games. Those were awesome. You're a little...
It smells awful.
Yeah, you got some stuff in your hair. Kyouko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Math is fun. I like math too. I'm glad to hear that, Kyouko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you! Snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. The monkey scared you. Okay. Phew, that really hit the spot. Oh, you know, in Dutch it was called the Junior Detectives. But I think it was called something different in English. Yeah, because when I'm searching for it, it's only the Dutch version of that. Junior Detectives. I don't know. Those are really good for like educational games with like actual like school actual like school class problems. Yeah, you remember that? That was so good. I remember being able to beat the one for the 6th group better than like grade 4 before being able to beat the one for grade 3. I don't know why I couldn't beat it, but like I found the last game, the last puzzle in the one for grade 3 very difficult. It was like a spelling thing or something. In the end, I beat it at some point, but yeah. Really good. Oh, they gotta be... Junior Detectives is what I know. It was... Who made that? Mindscape. Mindscape educational games. Mindscape. Software published. Mavis Beacon teaches typing. Paperboy, Mad Max, Moonstone, Captain Planet, Terminator, Wing Commander. It's not in here. Mindscape Educational, Globetrotter, Law and Order, Garfield. Garfield's Typing Pal. Mario teaches sums, Zoombinis. Oh, Clue Finders. Clue Finders Adventures. That's it. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I was able to beat the one for years 4 and 5 before the one for year 3. Clue Finders. That's the one. Oh, we've got the energy to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not! After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Even thinking is in English. Then try again to talk to your friends in your native language and your brain just decides, nope, you can talk English. What country are you from? Me and Lawrence are both from the Netherlands.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyouko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
Hungary, cool. my parents actually wanted to move to Hungary, but that was they were kind of tricked, and in the end they decided, nope, we're not going to Hungary. They wanted to emigrate to it, and in the end they decided not to. So yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that, because it would have changed my life completely. I mean, I don't know what my life would have been, but I'm happy with what I have now. To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. Yeah. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I
abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter what the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak? So you know that I know that you know that I know that you don't, that I know that you were knowing that I know where you were lying. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did, once. Once? Until recently. I had forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had a memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible! Amnesia? That may be a little bit too high for her. Well, of course it's a women's voice, but you know... I usually do her voice like a little bit lower, simply because my voice usually doesn't reach very high. I did too, using games. And yeah, thanks to Ocarina of Time. For me, the ones that definitely come to mind are I don't think they were the ones that to teach me English, but they added to my vocabulary a lot. The Ace Attorney games, eventually, and the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. But yeah, I played a lot of games that were like in English with text boxes. So yeah, 24/7 YouTube, also a good one.
Makoto.
Objection! You remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, when I fainted, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. Yeah, the learning English stage, we didn't have YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is like, what, 11 or 12 years old at this point? It's alright. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. What would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Forget all that. Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But what? Why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
No dark theme. Now there's a dark theme. I kind of do like the dark theme, though the layout is like a little bit iffy. But what they did do is they made it make more sense, like to have the creator studio. Like you can always go to the top right, click on your icon and go creator studio. So like video manager and analytics, stuff like that. At first you had to go first to your channel, like click on my channel, and then at one of the 3 top buttons. It was really weird. So that is something they did fix. And it could also mean somehow memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. Okay. Skyrim, okay. The version on Switch actually looks pretty cool. Like, just that it's handheld now, kinda. It's pretty sweet. I'm not gonna get it though, because the game doesn't appeal to me personally. There's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. Since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind is one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. I think right now is a good time to stop. Because, it's getting late. And people are getting home. So thank you guys all so much for watching. And see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hope you had a great time.